The little girl, with her shoelaces untied, was chasing a butterfly by the pool when she suddenly fell in. Her father, coming from the neighbor's house, couldn't find her anywhere. Looking at the still pool, a sudden realization hit him. He panicked and jumped into the water, only to see his daughter already at the bottom. He tried to lift her to the surface, but discovered her shoelaces were tightly tangled in an underwater cage. After several failed attempts, he moved to face her directly. Her face was frozen in terror, and he could only hold her lifeless body, wailing in despair. He could have prevented it. When his daughter had asked him to chase butterflies with her, he had been busy at the neighbor's house having coffee. For the next 5 years, he was consumed by guilt. His wife eventually divorced him and remarried. After being scolded once again by his ex-wife, he decided to let go of his grief over his daughter. He knelt by the pool where she had drowned.
Of niets meer.
A friend arrived, pulled him up, and took him to a bar to warm up and clear his head. In a daze, Will saw his daughter's figure in the corner, smiling at it. Thinking it was a hallucination, he still followed his instinct forward. Suddenly, he fell to the ground and saw a frozen butterfly. He cupped it in his hands, and it spread its wings, landing on his fingertip before flying ahead. Guided by the butterfly, Will followed it through the bushes to the entrance of a tunnel. Cautiously moving through the darkness, he soon saw a patch of light. He realized he had returned to his own front door. Across the way, a neighbor shouted for quiet, and he saw himself walking toward the neighbor's house. Will couldn't believe what he was seeing. He stepped out of the bushes, carefully observing everything, and suddenly remembered something. Rushing back toward his house, struggling to get up, he ran to the pool. Sure enough, his daughter was struggling at the bottom. He untied her shoelaces, lifted her to the surface, and held her tightly in his arms. Once she fell asleep, Will got up to leave. Though he didn't understand what had just happened, he knew he didn't belong there. Halfway out, the phone rang inside the house. His 5 years ago self had returned home to find a man in his daughter's room. Grabbing a craft piece, he sneaked closer, and in the confusion, Will's pencil pierced his other self's neck. 5 years ago, Will didn't understand what was happening and died by his own hand. Will stared at his past self on the floor, his mind blank. His daughter suddenly appeared at the top of the stairs, asking what her dad was doing. Will panicked, blocked the corpse, and scolded her back to her room. Once he calmed down, he put the body into a bag, cleaned up the scene, and dragged the bag to the backyard.